National and ACT parties have received a frosty reception at a meeting with families of suicide victims after sending representatives at the last minute. 3 mothers who've lost children to suicide wrote a letter in August inviting all political parties to today's forum in Wellington. There was our political reporter, Craig McCulloch.
Politician, can you make the right decision for all of us, yeah?
A heartfelt plea to politicians of every stripe. Bereaved families coming forward one after the other, each sharing harrowing stories of loss.
I can't get my head around how people have to attempt to hurt themselves first to get emergency care. What if the first time someone attempts to take their lives, it works and they're gone? This is what happened to us. We had no second chances.
Yeah, I waited a long time for this because she went through the system and she didn't come out the other end.
My son had a huge amount to offer, and all of that potential is now buried with him. He could have been anyone's son. He could have been your son.
The families want a full and independent inquiry into the country's mental health crisis. They want more funding for health and a target for reducing suicides.
Many of the families that are with us have been farmers who have voted National. I know the story behind some of these gumboots from a farmer from down near Oamaru, and it is a sad story. This is not about parties. The people who from these shoes vote for all colours.
Only National and ACT don't support the family's wish list. They didn't show up at a demonstration outside Parliament yesterday, and as early as this morning, neither party was expected to attend today's meeting either. After questions from the media, though, both sent a late edition. National, its MP Chris Finlayson.
Overwhelmingly, the message that I have heard from you today is the need for action. Action on many, many fronts.
But not everyone there was receptive to his comments. A 16-year-old suicide survivor speaking up.
Do you think I'm stupid? I can see right through your bullshit, mate. I'm not fooling. I can't even vote. I'm a kid. I see right through it, mate.
Another in the audience asked Chris Finlayson whether National would commit to a mental health inquiry.
There are so many issues. I would be concerned, and the government would be concerned, that an overarching inquiry could be slow and cumbersome. There are many matters that need to be looked at, and the government wants to get on with them now.
What you're doing currently isn't working. Our people are dying. Our figure's 606 empty shoes.
And it wasn't just here that National came under pressure over suicide. Its MP and chair of the Health Select Committee, Simon O'Connor, yesterday claimed on Facebook that the Labour leader was happy to encourage the suicides of the elderly, disabled and sick, a reference to her stance on euthanasia. Jacinda Ardern says they're 2 very different issues, and to confuse them is offensive to the families of suicide victims.
I respect anyone's right to hold their own personal view on euthanasia, but to compare it to suicide is wrong, and I think probably those who are affected by it would think that was the case too.
National's leader, Bill English, is distancing himself from his MP's comments, texting him this morning to say National doesn't link euthanasia and suicide. Meanwhile, the Greens today announced they'd fund free counselling for all New Zealanders aged 25 and under as part of a $260 million youth mental health package. From Wellington for Checkpoint, Craig McCulloch.